Hey everybody, it's Thursday, September 30th, 2021. Putting this out late on Thursday evening, which is the last day of September 2021. Tomorrow is October 1st. We head into the fourth quarter of 2021, and what a year it's been. And it's going to be very interesting to see what happens here in the last 3 months of the year. But we've got new warnings out, new major concerning things happening that we need to get you updated on. So let's go ahead and get into it right now. Now, please, before we get moving here, please make sure that you are subscribed so you do not miss any of these important updates. And it's also very important for me that you are here so I can read your comments. And I do get a lot of information from you down in comments. So thanks to each and every one of you that have subscribed and left me comments and just giving me feedback and maybe your point of view and what you're seeing in your area. So thank you very much. Let's get into this report today. Several news outlets. This is CNN Business. The workers who keep global supply chains moving are warning of a system collapse. Now let's stop real quick. What happens when shipments stop? When there's a collapse in supply chains? When there's a freeze up in the delivery system? How many people do you know that are self-sufficient, that they grow their own food, they have their own source of water? And I'm going to guess it's not too many. And that's because over 99% of people rely on someone else to deliver their stuff. Now, yes, they may go to the grocery store and get their own items, but those items at the store, they are delivered in some fashion. They're delivered in some way. There's a chain of transport to get these items onto the shelves. So yes, you may drive to the grocery store and get the stuff, but are you growing your own stuff? Not too many, including myself. So I'm not sure if I'm going to survive this, but what happens if there's a system collapse? Well, let's read about what the people in the industry in the transport sectors are talking about. In an open letter Wednesday to heads of state attending the United Nations General Assembly, the International Chamber of Shipping and other industry groups warned of a, quote, global transport system collapse, unquote, if governments do not restore freedom of movement to transport workers and give them priority to receive the treatments. Global supply chains are beginning to buckle as 2 years worth of strain on transport workers take their toll. And this continues, and this is their words, not mine. All transport sectors are also seeing a shortage of workers and expect more to leave as a result of the poor treatment millions have faced during the pandemic. All right, folks, so this is happening globally. People do not want to work, and not just because they're lazy. There's lots of things happening right now that have people not choosing not to go to work. And we've talked about all of them at one point here on this channel, several times actually. So most of you know what's going on with that. But the bottom line is we need to continue to prepare, because when the deliveries stop, when there's a freeze up or system collapse, as is being warned by the individuals that run the industry, that operate the transport companies, are warning us. Reuters, it's going to indicate more rising prices from chips to ships. Shortages are making inflation stick. No, it's not transitory. Regardless of what the quote unquote experts told you, are, the ones that are always wrong, that said inflation was transitory, but yet they still get paid millions of dollars and make millions of more on their trades to give you wrong information over and over and over again. Does anyone see a problem here? The cost of containers rising, the cost of automobiles rising, chip shortages, labor shortages, and the punishment is just beginning to get dished out. So the working situation, people choosing not to work, it's just going to get worse. We saw it in the jobs report that we reported on just in our previous video, with another higher than expected jobless filing week for the past week. Another recent article, economic recovery losing momentum. This was a survey that was done. Economists increasingly becoming more pessimistic about the growth outlook. So at one stage, at one point, we were in an amazing economic recovery. And look, it's been a few months since we've had stimulus checks. Actually, it's been several months, and now we're losing momentum. You see, this whole thing is based on giving money to people, having consumers go out and spend that money. The spending creates economic growth, what they call economic growth. But is it really economic growth when millions of people need these rescue programs, the assistance programs, the handouts, the moratoriums? We're starting to see the beginnings of the big homeless crisis that's headed into this country, that's already here, but it's going to get worse, especially in the fourth quarter here of 2021, with all of the areas that are basically allowing people now to get booted onto the street. Where are these people going to go? Why are there not more stimulus checks getting sent out? It's interesting, in the $3-something trillion spending package that's being debated on right now, where is the money that goes to the people? Right? We see a lot of money being funneled into different industries, but it does not go to the people. So it's going to be still most of the population dependent on assistance and payouts. And add on top of all this, all of the issues with the supply chains and possible collapse of the system. And I've said this before, I don't like to bring it up too often because, it's not a fun topic to even think about, but most people will not survive once the whole system freezes up. And it doesn't have to be for very long, because even after just a couple days, most people will not have any source of food or water. So what are they going to do, the quote unquote leaders? Well, and they're trying to eliminate the debt ceiling. Another article out today here, Yellen lends support for effort to remove the debt ceiling altogether. So they need unlimited debt now, without any restrictions, without any debate on the amount of spending or the debt ceiling. They need endless debt so they can create more debt faster to try to keep this dying economy from croaking, basically. Now, as expected, the government shutdown was avoided, as the debt ceiling and the infrastructure is now in focus. Of course, they're going to try to get rid of the debt ceiling so there's no more delays on spending money or adding on more debt. The funding bill has been passed to prevent shutdown. Of course, this goes to the president's desk. Of course, it'll be signed. So the government is going to continue to operate as we all expected. I mean, no one's going to allow the checks not to go out, to allow the financial Ponzi scheme to freeze up, because the people that are passing these laws, they're also going to be the ones not getting paid. So why would they do that? Doesn't make any sense, right? The House and Senate on Thursday both approved a short-term government funding bill that keeps federal agencies open through early December and staves off a partial government shutdown just hours before the funding was set to expire. Well, folks, there's a lot bigger problems than just the debt ceiling. Yes, they can increase the debt ceiling or they can get rid of the debt ceiling. But when there's no food on the shelves, when the supply chains freeze up, collapse, as is being warned by the people in the industry, it's not going to matter. Because no food is no food, no supplies is no supplies. And if your car breaks down and it costs $20,000 to $30,000 even for a bad car with high miles, maybe something that doesn't run very good because of the shortage of vehicles and chips and all the demand out there. All right, people, so keep preparing, keep stacking. I would be very, very cautious at this time. Let me know what you think down in the comments, but thanks for being here. I'm going to wrap this one up. Stay well, stay safe, keep stacking, stay prepared, stay positive. Bye for now. Peace.